Hey there guys, welcome to the video. My name is Pushpinder Gill, and in this video I'm going to be talking about area between two curves. So how do you find the area between two curves? So let's go ahead and get started. So let's suppose you have two curves. Let's suppose you have two curves, y is equal to f of x and y is equal to g of x, such that g of x is greater than or equal to f of x. Let's say geometrically, if I were to show you that, let's say that this is g of x, fine, and this is, let's say, your f of x. So let's say this is the interval a till b, wherein I want to find out the area between these two curves, and for this interval this is valid, right? So for this interval this is something which is valid. So how will I find the area between these two curves? So I want to find out this area over here. Now if I were to just show you how do I find this area, first of all what I will have to show you is the individual areas under the curve, fine. So let's say I try to find out the integral from a till b of gx dot dx, right? So that will actually give me this area. So I'm trying to find, so this is g of x, right? So this is something which is g of x. So this will give me this area, fine. And if I try to find the area, which is this area, that is the integral from a till b of f of x dot dx, this is something which will give me this area, because as you can clearly see, this is f of x, right? So this will give me this area. And if I subtract both the things, what will I get? I will get this area, fine. So that means the area between two curves, such that all these conditions apply, the area between two curves is going to be from a till b of g of x minus f of x dot dx. So that is going to be the area under two curves. So let's say, for example, I want to find out the area of these curves. So I have a curve, let's say g of x, which is actually equal to x plus 2. It's a line, it's not a curve. And I have a curve which is f of x, that is equal to x squared plus x minus 2. And I want to find the curve enclosed by these lines, x is equal to 1 and x is equal to minus 1 and x is equal to 1. So let's say this is our question. So first of all, what I have to do is I'll have to sketch the graph. Either you can sketch the graph using your calculator, or we can sketch it like this also. So first of all, what I have to do is I have to sketch gx, that is x plus 2. So as you can see that y is equal to x plus 2. When x is 0, y is 2. And when y is 0, x is negative 2. So when x is 0, y is 2. So this is 2. And when y is 0, x is negative 2. So this is negative 2. So this is your g of x. Fine. So let me go ahead and change the colors. Alright, so let's say now we have to curve the f of x. So f of x is going to be equal to y is equal to x squared plus x minus 2. Right? So this is equal to x squared plus 2x minus x minus 2. So that is going to be x into x plus 2 minus 1 into x plus 2. So this is going to be x plus 2 into x minus 1. So when this is equal to 0, x is either equal to 1 or x is either is equal to negative 2. So x is either equal to 1, so that means this is 1, and x is either equal to negative 2, which is this point over here, right? And when x is 0, y is equal to negative 2. So that means it passes through negative 2. And as you can see that the midpoint of this lies somewhere here, that is negative 1.5. So I'm just sketching the graph, guys. So if you don't know how to sketch a quadratic equation, just go ahead and watch the quadratic equation videos. Now what do I have to do? I have to find the equation, I have to find the area under the curve from x is equal to minus 1 and x is equal to 1. That means I have to find the area under the curve from x is equal to 1 all the way till x is equal to minus 1. So which means that I have to find this area. Fine. So this is what I have to do. I have to find this area. Now that was just the geometric representation of it. But if I were to find the area using the expression, so that would actually be simply be from -1 till 2. So from -1 till 1 of g of x minus f of x. Because as you can clearly see that g of x is something which is above f of x. So I have to find this area. So the area under g of x minus the area under f of x will actually give me this area. So that will actually be equal to simply integration from -1 and 1 of x plus 2 minus x square minus x plus 2 dot dx, right? So this is what I'll have. So that will simply be integration of -1 till 1. X and x will go, right? So I'll have x square, and this is 4, right? So and this is negative x square. So that is 4 minus x square dot dx, which is going to be equal to -1 till 1. That is 4x minus x cube over 3, which is going to be equal to, so if I just substitute 1, that would be this. If I substitute -1, that would be this. So if I calculate this, this will come down to be as 22 by 3. So suppose you're understanding this point over here, guys. This is the area between these two curves. This is how we find it. That is g of x minus the f of x. Let's say we see another question. We want to find out the area between these two curves. Y is equal to 4 minus x, which is a straight line, and y is equal to 2 over x minus 1. So first of all, since this is a straight line, this can simply be plotted as when x is 0, y is 4, and when y is 0, x is 4. So when y is 0, x is 4. So this is simply this line, right? And how does this get plotted? Now what we have to do is we have to find, as you can clearly see, that this is a logarithmic function because y is equal to 1 over something. So that means this is going to be something of this sort. So this is going to be something of this sort. But I don't really care because, I know I just have to do this minus this and find the derivative. So the first thing that I need to find is when these two graphs intersect each other. So for that, what I'll do is I'll equate this to be equal to this. So I'll say 4 minus x is equal to 2 over x minus 1. Now from this, if I say, so that's going to be 4x minus x squared minus 4 plus x is equal to 2. So I'm just solving this right now. So it's so if I just solve this again, this x squared, if I take it to that side, so I'm going to have x squared plus 6 minus 5x is equal to 0. So this is going to be x minus 3 into x minus 2 is equal to 0. So that means these both are going to meet at x is equal to 3. So this point would be x is equal to 3 and this point would be x is equal to 2. So if I have to find the area, it will simply be all the way from 2 till 3 of, and you can clearly see that this line is something which is above, right? So that means it's going to be this minus this dot dx. So that is what it's going to be. And if I just integrate now from 2 till 3, what will be the integration of 4? The integration of 4 would be 4x. X would be x squared over 2. Then you're going to have negative 2. So 1 over x minus 1 would simply be log of x minus 1, of course, to the base e. So this is simply going to be equal to, so I'll just substitute 3 and I'll substitute 2. So if I substitute 3, it's 4 times 3 is 12. And this is 9 over 2, and this is 2 log 3 minus 1, 2. Minus of 4 times 2 is 8, minus 2 log of 1. And as you know that log of 1 is always 0, right? So I'm going to get, so this is 12 minus 9 over 2, which is, I'm just going to call it 24 over 2. 24 minus 9 is actually going to be equal to, sometimes I don't want to make a mistake, right? So it's 15 over 2, right? So 15 over 2, which is 15 over 2, and this is going to be 8 minus 2, which is going to be 6. 15 over 2 minus 6, right? So this actually is going to be equal to 3 over 2 minus this part, which is 2 log 2. As you already know, this is 0 because log of 1 is always 0. So this is the area between these two curves, that is this area right here. So suppose you're understanding this point over here, guys, how to find the area between two curves. It's very important, right? Because so I'll just write it down here. So if you have two curves, g of x and f of x, we want to find the interval from a till b such that g of x is greater than or equal to f of x between this interval. Then the area between two curves is going to be equal to g of x minus f of x dot dx. Fine. So thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Suppose you've understood everything here. Just make sure that you visit our website, give us your valuable like on our Facebook page, and give us your valuable feedback on this email address. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.